Hey guys, it's Aaron. So last week we created this model where we took a pretty simple landscape and used some water materials to intersect with the geometry and create some water. We had a little lake, little creek, and potentially an ocean kind of in that layout in that model. So I was looking at it and I thought, it was cool. It was pretty good what we created, but I think we can take it to another level. So I want to go in and add a little bit of detail to the water we added to our landscape. So without further ado, let's hop right in. Okay, so one of the first things we can do if we wanted to make this a little bit more, we just want this to pop a little bit more, would be to get rid of these lines. If I double click on this surface, it'll select the surface and grab all the adjoining lines. If I hold down Shift, I can click on the surface, turn it off. That will give me just the boundary lines. Now I can come over here to Entity Info and I can say Soften and Smooth. And what that'll do is that'll actually just give me the water sitting down there without the line around the edge. Not that the line's a bad thing. Some people may like that look. It might actually look really good depending on the layout. But if I want to go for just a little bit more realism or a little bit more, je ne sais quoi. I don't know exactly what that means, which I think it means I don't know what. But if I wanted that French thing, I could do that by erasing it. Why don't I just grab my eraser and hold down the Option or Control key to hide it? Well, I absolutely could do that too, but double clicking and then shift clicking the surface is a quicker way to get all the lines at once and allows me to just toggle invisibility. I do the same thing on the creek here. The creek's a little bit different because if I double click, if I do that same trick right now, I'm going to end up losing this line right here, which is kind of a boundary of my model. So what I may want to do is hold down Shift and actually click those edge lines as well, and then I can soften and smooth there also. So it gives me kind of a cool creek, but I still have the hard edge of my, design model. I don't know what you'd call a chunk of landscape like this. Probably a landscape chunk. That's probably the technical term. All right, with our ocean here, this is where the ocean's coming in. I want to do something a little bit bigger than just erasing the boundary line. That's pretty simple. I want to come in here and put a couple of ripple, like small waves kind of rolling in. Maybe add a little bit of a foamier color, maybe a lighter color right here on the edge, something like that. So what I want to do is I want to take this edge, I want to take this curving line right here, and I want to offset it a few times. So first thing I do is get it selected. Right now it's a whole bunch of small segments, so I could go through the process of grabbing these lines. Oop, grab an extra one there. Come in here and grab these lines. I could do this. This is a doable thing to do. It's not a bad thing. You do have to, when you get to the edges like this, you have to come in here and make sure you turn off the extra pieces. Turn on my minus by holding down Shift and Option at the same time. Zoom in here. All right, so that wasn't too bad, but that's what it would take to get the, hold up. Well, it's like I'm being dramatic and making it more difficult than it needs to be, like an infomercial, but that wasn't what I did. That was honestly just selecting that. So a quicker way, of course, would be to double click the top surface, hold down Shift, remove not just the surface, but then my two edges, and then I had that selected in just a couple clicks. A lot quicker process. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset a couple times. I'm going to choose my offset tool. I'm going to click this line, I'm going to pull it back a little bit. And I'm going to grab it again, I'm going to pull it back about here. I'm going to go about here. And I'm going to do that again. I'm trying to think how many times I want to do this. I do want to kind of get some, I don't want perfectly even. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use Move to move some of these surfaces up. So I'll have a flat section, then I'll slope up, and then slope down, and then a flat section, and then we'll slope up, and then down. Is that the right number? Let's see. I grab this one, and this one. Yeah. So I'm going to grab these two pieces right here. Actually, before I actually move these, I want to do a little bit more cleanup. I want to get rid of these extra lines that hang over the edge, because, well, I could do this at any point in the process, but I'm going to do it now just to get rid of them. So any of those segments that lap over the edge, I can actually just delete those by dragging the eraser across them. So if I get to the right view like this where I'm looking at from above, actually just click and drag all the way down over a bunch of them. And the one out of frame, of course. Okay, before I come in and start making waves, I'm gonna go in and select this first section and I wanna lighten it up just a little bit. Kind of, you know, suggesting maybe a little bit of sea foam or something like that, a little bit lighter boundary right here. Now, if I come in here and I double click to select this material right here, I can actually come in and I can change the color or the lightness of everything that is that material. Now obviously I don't want to do that because that changes all of them. So what I want to do, I'm just going to hit Control Z to undo that. And what I want to do is I want to take this surface right here, so this one section, right click and make a unique texture. What that's going to do is add a new color swatch right here, and see it's actually clipped to that geometry. I can select just this color swatch now, see the information about this, and if I come over here now and I start making changes to this material, I can actually make this look like a lighter color than the rest of the model. I went up to 100% opacity, so I'm gonna drop it back down to 60. That's where my default material is. And then I can actually come in here. Let's just make it pure white. Yeah, I'm just gonna drop it down to white, go back to my 60% opacity, and then say that looks good. Okay, so it's going to a lighter shade there. And now I'm gonna grab this and this section. I'm gonna use move. I'm gonna constrain to the vertical axes by hitting the up key on my keyboard, and I'm gonna take these two shapes and raise them up just a little bit. Like that. Look at that, those beautiful waves. Actually, it's a terribly ugly mess, so we wanna clean that up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in here, I'm just gonna do a group select of all that geometry. I got a little bit of extra, but that's okay, that will be all right. I'm gonna take all of that now, I'm gonna go to soften and smooth edges, and just toggle that and turn it on. Ooh, and there we go. Now we got a little bit of a ripple there in the water coming up to my beach. I could do the same thing at this point. I could double click. I want to go and I want to soften this edge again, just like I did on the river and the lake. Not as quick and easy as it was to select last time, because if I turn off this surface, I can turn off a portion of this edge, but because of those edges we made, a lot of extra geometry. So here's a shortcut on how to turn off all of this at once. So I'm going to double click here. It gets my boundary that I want, plus all my other boundaries. Shift click the top. Then I'm going to shift click the side once, only once, and then double click it. That turns off the selected surface and all adjoining edges, so I get rid of all of them at once. So again, single click with shift held down, then double click with shift held down. Now I'm back to just this one edge, and I come up here, say soften and smooth, and there we go. So now I just got that little bleeding edge. It looks like kind of wet sand versus my more bluey, tealy colors where my waves are rolling in to my beach. So hopefully you like that. Hopefully you got a tip or two out of that and learned something new. If you liked that, if you did like it anyway, if you like just a little bit of it, go ahead and click on like down below. If you want to see more videos like this in your life, if this is what you need to be complete, all you have to do is click the subscribe button. Then YouTube will notify you every week when we release a new one of these videos. We do try to release 2 to 3 videos every week, so you'll get those in your subscribed list, and your life will be better for it. Most importantly though, leave us a comment down below. If you have a different way of doing what we did, or you have an idea that you think would make a great skill builder, go ahead and leave it in the comments. We like making these videos, but we like making them a lot more when they're showing something that you want to see. Thank you.